Julie Chrisley, a reality star, has returned to her federal prison in Kentucky. A federal appeals court invalidated the reality star's initial 2022 sentence, and she was resentenced to 84 months in prison last month. Chrisley has been in the custody of the U.S. Marshal Service since being returned to Lexington FMC, much like when she was sent to Atlanta for the resentencing hearing. This occurs only a few days after Julie appealed the judge's decision to sentence her to 7 years in jail once more. In June, an appeals court overturned Julie's sentence and mandated that the lower court resentence her. The conviction of her husband, Todd Chrisley, who is presently incarcerated for 13 years in federal prison in Pensacola, Florida, was also upheld by the same court. In 2022, the two and their accountant, Peter Tarantino, were convicted of fraud. When the marshal sent the couple's daughter to Atlanta for the hearing last month, Savannah talked about the care she said her mother received. "I believe that the shipping process is one that nobody is aware of and that it is most likely the most cruel, particularly for women. There is no justification for a woman to be one of only 4 women traveling with more than 75 guys. That simply shouldn't be occurring," Savannah remarked. "What that process is for her is beyond my comprehension." Todd and Julie were accused of tax fraud, bank fraud, conspiracy to defraud the United States, and conspiracy to commit bank fraud. In addition, Julie Chrisley faced charges of obstruction of justice and wire fraud. August 2019 saw the initial indictment of the Chrisleys. According to the prosecution, the couple applied for loans from banks using fictitious documentation. In July 2014, Julie Chrisley attempted to rent a house in California and supplied a phony credit report and bank records that showed far more money than they actually had in their accounts. When they stopped paying rent in October 2014, a few months after they moved in, the owner had to threaten to evict them. Prosecutors said that the Chrisleys failed to report the money they got from their reality television program, Chrisley Knows Best, as income on their federal tax filings, instead allocating it to a business they owned, 7 Seas Productions. For several years, the couple neglected to timely submit or pay their federal income taxes. The criminal charges date back to the family's stay in the northern suburbs of Atlanta, but by the time the indictment was filed, they had relocated to Tennessee. After discovering that Todd Chrisley had probably been avoiding paying Georgia's state income taxes for a number of years, Channel 2 Action News began looking into the Chrisleys in 2017. According to court records that Channel 2 Action News was able to collect, the Chrisleys owed the state around $800,000 in liens by 2018. A federal jury ultimately found the pair guilty of tax evasion and bank fraud when they went to trial.